giant ego if you're going to lift big weights. If you're going to be on the top of the heap of any sport, bodybuilding, whatever it is, you need a super ego. Everybody, you need to be selfish as fuck, and you need a super ego. So that kind of comes with the terror. I'm not giving people permission to do that. I'm just stating a fact that I know from that. That does not jive well in business and relationships and other shit. And that's where I've been very vocal about my biggest regret through all this is how I treated my wife while I was still competing. Without a doubt, 100%. The only regret I have. That's it. No other regrets. That's it. And it was fucked up and it was wrong. I can't change it. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make that back and make that better. That aspect is never going to carry over well to, it's just not. It's not. And if those people can't, there are a lot of people that were great athletes in different disciplines, and they still have the giant ego, but they're not the ones that are holding the meetings in their companies, and they're not the CEOs. They're more a figurehead that people know. It's just an arrogant fuck. This is the way it is, and it's okay. But all those other attributes that you learn in the gym, they carry over to everything. So even if they're not a great lifter, there's still the discipline, there's the consistency, there's, kind of, behind all the extremeness, there is a healthy lifestyle, under that, like down here at this layer where all this layer is really unhealthy, but down here there's a foundation for that. GPP, conditioning, looking at what you're eating, all that stuff, it's all there. It's just, pulling it out later is a little hard.
You know what, Dave, I have a question about that, the ego thing that you just mentioned. And obviously you have decades of seeing these top level athletes kill these massive weights, and you've noticed a trend of them having a big ego. But do you think if these individuals are aware of that danger, if they're aware of, you don't think it's possible to not have a big ego and still be able to attack those things?
I think if it's a big enough ego, they're not going to be aware, because the self-awareness is not going to come with that big ego. It's just the way it is. And if they are aware, they don't have the ego. It's not there. Because trust me, the people that I'm talking about, they don't know. They might, but they don't give a fuck about it. They'll deal with the consequences later. Right now, there's a fucking meet in 6 months, or it's what it is. You can get stuck in it. If there's a problem with it, I don't think the problem is it. I think the problem is you get stuck in it. So then when you really are, it's like the stages of denial or stages of death. There's this whole fucked up phase where you're really done, but you don't know you're done, but you still think you're going to keep going. But with that, aside from the competitive and all that stuff, your mind is still the person that started doing that. So to all those people around you, you're still the same fuck that they've been dealing with for 5 or 6 years. And they're like, when's this going to be over? Like,
this is what JL described to us today. JL Holdsworth was describing this today. He had an ego, and he didn't know any other way to deal with stuff other than like punch people in the face.
Yeah, his was huge. It was huge. And you if you're training with it and you're working with it, you embrace it. It's like an innocence that you don't want to see somebody fuck up, because that's required. Now, you don't want to see them do shit like punch people in the face, and only because if they break their hand, they can't bench. You gotta. This is how you got to explain it to these people. If you go out and get in a fight and you in jail and squat on Friday and you miss the squat work, then I ain't going out. If I'm gonna miss the squat work, I'll go out on Friday night after I squat. So it's those are the consequences. The real consequences aren't what a normal person is going to see. The real consequences are you're going to fuck up your squat workout. You only got 8 of them left before the meet. It's like, oh shit, I can't do that. So yeah, but he was one that, and I've known Jay. He's been a really good friend of mine for a long time. He's one that it took a long time for him to shed that, and it had to happen in layers. Over a period of time, and there had to be a little self-awareness and then acceptance of it. That's a big part too, because with that, there's a lot of things that you're going to regret. I have one giant one. The other ones I've just come to terms, fuck it, I'm fine with it. But you got to deal with those. You got to accept them. If you can't accept them, you're going to fight them. You know, and he's come a long way. JL's come a really long way. You know,
It's impressive.
Yeah, he's come a long way from when he was crazy fuck, man. He was crazy.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my